We're back! You heard that right, friends. We are back with season 2. As mentioned in the last video of season 1, my mom and I did renew our season tickets for the Straz Center, and today is the day. Today is the beginning of our new season. This season is 9 shows that we are so excited to review for you. But with that, I have to start getting ready, but let me tell you about some changes we're gonna make to these videos, and let me tell you about our first show. So to start, let me tell you a few things that we are changing this season. Our ratings are going to be done differently than they have in the past. We used to rate it out of 10 and just talk willy-nilly. This season, we have narrowed it down to 4 categories we're gonna talk to. We will rate each category out of 5, and then we will take the average of all of the scores. So instead of out of 10, they'll be out of 5. Our main purpose with that is just to help our conversation, so we're not sitting there rambling. But honestly, that's the only big thing that's changing. We're still gonna go to lunch. Our lunch spots might change, but of course, lunch is always in the picture. So since we've covered what's changing, let's get into the good stuff. Our first show this season is called The Choir of Men. Now you may be thinking, what is that? I've never heard of that musical. Well, this is the one show that's not really a musical or a play. This show is being done by the Straz Center, kind of like Sheer Madness was last year. From the research I've already done, this is something that like theaters can put on. It's not something local, like I thought the last one was. I've also purchased a little fan to keep me cool. I'll try and put my makeup on. I also think this is a musical that changes each year. Let me finish my blush and I'll read you what the Straz Center has on its website. I heard. So this is from the Straz Center's website. Known across the globe as the ultimate feel-good show, The Choir of Man offers up 90 minutes of indisputable joy. It's a party. It's a concert. It's the best pub lock-in you've ever been to. Featuring pop, classic rock, folk, Broadway, and pub tunes, The Choir of Men has something for everyone. A multi-talented cast of 9 talented blokes from a pub called The Jungle combined hair-raising harmonies, foot-stomping sing-alongs, world-class tap dance, and poetic meditations on the power of community in this riotously enjoyable homage to that gathering place we all love so much, your local pub. With a real working bar on stage serving up free pints. Come ready to drink in the action. Cheers. And it's so funny, on the website it has rules. Rules of the jungle. This won't be a typical musical, it won't be a typical play, so our rating system that we just came up with may not actually be perfect this first go-round. I think it'll be hard. Some of the categories we've got, what this show is, will be hard to compare and rate to, so we'll see. I'm excited about this season because there's some really good big Broadway shows coming. We were actually originally scheduled to see this show last weekend, but there was a little known band that had a concert that I went to instead and had a friend come down for. Oh, that band, the Jonas Brothers. So thankfully, the Straz Center, we just called them up, said, hey, I can't attend this show this week. Can we change it? And they said, yeah, no problem. So I was super glad that it was super easy. Makeup's done. Now let me finish my hair. I'll see you in a minute. Back again.
Not you.
Switch things up today. New season, no me. Not really, but at least for right now. Today, at least. Didn't count last year, but we'll count this year, the amount of times our orders get messed up. So far, we're at 1 out of 1. My potato that I've got remade, it had ham and turkey, along with the bacon and cheese. No, I'm a basic person. You see what I eat normally. I don't do extra things on my potato. So now we will enjoy our lunch.
All right, friends, you know exactly what time it is. It is time for us to give our review. So as I mentioned earlier, we are doing a review a little bit different this season, and we're gonna have 4 categories that we'll talk through and give our ratings. Our categories are look, sound, music to dialogue ratio, and execution. So the first category is look, and what we mean by look is we're talking the set and the stage and how it's used, any costuming, the props, just the overall look of the musical, though today's wasn't quite a musical.
So it was, the setting was a pub, and it was definitely a pub. And they had a piano, which was kind of cool. They had a bartender, which was who actually looked like the youngest of all of the people in the cast. And you know, costume, they were dressed like normal people, like you would be in a pub.
Yeah.
I would say that they did a very nice job creating the atmosphere, and then playing, even in the beginning when they were playing music, it was kind of pubby kind of music, I guess.
So I would agree. The seating on the stage looked very pub-like.
It did, because it had, yeah, the furniture, even the furniture and stuff that they had was more something you would expect to see in a bar.
For the look, I would give it a 5. I
would agree. I would give it a 5 as well.
All right, next, sound. And really the big thing with sound is just the music mixing of the whole performance.
Right. What was very interesting is it was a small theater, and the mix, it was a little disappointing from the standpoint that it was a choir that was in the pub. Their voices were outstanding because they did do a few a cappella pieces, and then at the end they did an a cappella without microphone, which was stunning. But the music overpowered their voices, and I almost felt like the guys were almost shouting so that you could hear them above the music. So the music to voice mix was not good.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad I wasn't the only one. The other thing I thought was interesting is it gave the illusion that they were playing all the instruments, but I think there were some instruments either off stage or there was a track to it.
I say there had to be a track to it because
there was definitely some instruments that were not on stage,
yeah, and
that were being played.
It was, the music itself was very loud. Like in the beginning, I almost had a headache before it even started because the music was very loud.
So what would you rate it?
Well, I was thinking I was going to give it a 3 because there were parts that were kind of bad, but then there were parts that were pretty good.
And I would probably give it a 2 because I thought there was more bad than good. Next is music to dialogue ratio, and this is kind of a hard one for this particular performance because it was not categorized as a musical at all. So with that, I will say from how it was advertised that it was going to be heavily music based. So I expected very little dialogue going into it, and there was definitely more dialogue than I expected. The dialogue was nice. Do I think it added anything? No. I did like the poeticness of it.
For me, I was expecting it to be more music, so I liked the fact that there was a little bit more dialogue in there, and part of it was because it was kind of telling the stories of the guys that were in there. I actually thought it was a nice mix, although I do think they could have sang a little bit more.
So I would probably rate it, I'd give it a 3.
See, and I would give it a 4 for that one.
Lastly, the execution, which is very self-explanatory, but the execution of the performance and how it was all put together and done.
Well, it was a very, very fun show.
Very fun. Very audience interaction.
Yes.
This is another show, kind of like Sheer Madness, that it could have been hit or miss with how your audience participated.
Yes, very much so.
If the audience wasn't into the music and everything, then the audience was probably going to be pretty boring.
Yeah, the fact that the audience had a good time when they were up there too, and these guys just look like they were having
They look like
fun.
they're having so much fun.
A lot of fun.
I think it was executed perfectly.
Yeah, I agree.
Their facial expressions, even when they weren't, like the little like facial expressions from side conversations as people were singing.
Yes, and then at the end when they were doing the last song where because they were clunking the mugs, it was very cool.
For execution,
I would give it a 5.
I'd probably give it a 5 as well. So overall, both scores would round to be about 4. So our overall rating for this show is going to be 4 out of 5 stars. Would you recommend it? Yes. We would recommend seeing it.
Yes, because it's very enjoyable and it's a lot of fun. And the guys, I think they had a lot of fun doing it. And when they look like they're having that much fun, you have to have that much fun.
It makes it hard not to have fun.
Right.
When you see the joy on their faces.
Yes. Good way to start the season.
Yes, it's a great way to kick off the season. So we will continue this season with our next show, which is
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. However, I will not be here.
Yeah, we'll keep it a surprise, but I've got someone else coming with me next week.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
This is what you did. I walked in, opened the door, you turned around like... And then you're like, oh, it's not on. I was like, oh, cool, I thought I was dead. I was just coming to tell you how pretty you are and how much I love you.
What do you want?
Love from my wife. Is that too much to ask? Guess so.